bet you're here for the Trinity video, aren't you? Well, of course you are, because this is the time we usually do it. We try and get these out to you on Tuesday so that by Wednesday you'll be ready to meditate with us every Wednesday night. We do a world-changing meditation where we empower these energies into the consciousness, and you can be a part of that. Take a moment to like this video, subscribe to this channel, maybe drop us a comment, maybe even share it with somebody that you feel could really benefit. All of these things help make us more visible, more accessible, and help you become part of a bigger push to change the consciousness. Every week we do it energy at a time, and this week the energy is faith. I always try and give you a physical sensation of the energy to help with your meditation, but it's a little difficult with faith. Faith is a very out there energy. So I'm going to break it down for you a little bit. It's going to seem a little strange at first, but then maybe it'll seem pretty much what you expected. Faith is, by its very definition, about expecting that there can be more. If you look at a situation and you go, oh, this is terrible, but you know what? There's a divine plan and this fits in somehow. Well, you're saying this is more than I'm seeing. I expect that there is more out there. If you say, you know, I have some difficulties right now, but I'm going to pray to God and there's going to be some help that comes. And in that case, you're really just saying, I expect that there's more available than I see right now in my current situation. And that's really all faith is believing that this moment is not all that is possible, that there is something bigger out there. That's basically the experience of faith. How do humans go about experiencing that something could be more? Well, usually we practice. You want to be a better tennis player. Well, you're expecting that there's more skill available to me than I have right now. And so you go about cultivating that through practice. If you want to be a better public speaker, you're saying, I know this is not the limit of how comfortable I can be in front of an audience, so you practice. All of these things are our way of experiencing this could be bigger. As you can see, growth is an integral part of faith. If you don't believe that you can grow, then you really don't have any faith. Experiencing faith is really just about setting up some sort of practice. You've heard of people say, you know, I have a spiritual practice. I pray every morning. Well, that's good. That's a way to experience faith. But you can have any sort of regular practice that becomes your experience of faith. You get to choose what your spiritual practice looks like, but you do need to have one, or you're not going to experience faith on a regular basis. It'll just be a word about some cool concept that you don't actually live out. To live it out, you need a spiritual practice. Maybe it is prayer. Maybe you should pray every morning. You make a commitment to say the Lord's Prayer or something like that. That would be an acceptable spiritual practice. Yoga would be an acceptable spiritual practice. Meditation, also another way to empower that there is something more than just this moment. That's an acceptable way to experience faith through practice. But it can be just about anything. You can make a commitment to drink more water every day. And you're saying, I believe there's more health available to me. That's faith. That's faith when you practice the concept that there is more available than I have right now. So really it can be anything. I'm of course going to give you a self-defense concept that could become a regular practice for you. It's graduated into 3 parts so that you can scale up as you feel more competent, more practiced in it. The thing that I always suggest first, that I think is the basis of all self-defense, is whenever you're dealing with somebody in a face-to-face situation and they're close enough that they could actually do something to you, your hands should be up. So I'm going to suggest that as a spiritual practice, you make it a point to keep your hands in front of you whenever you're face-to-face with a person, even if they're your friend, even if there's no conflict. Just as a practice, begin to bring your hands up. Don't let them hang down here. Don't interact with people with your hands in your pocket or hanging by your sides. Keep them up here. If you're comfortable Talk with your hands, keep one hand on your heart, make it seem like you're more, totally sincere about this. Fold your hands in front of you, keep one like this. Just do something. Make it a practice to bring your hands up whenever you're dealing with a person. When you get pretty good at that, then I'm going to suggest the next level of your practice. And that might be that you don't stay face to face with them. That your chakras do not line up with their chakras because they may not be projecting really good stuff from their chakras. So I would say that after you get used to the idea of keeping your hands up, you might also shift a little bit so that you are not directly squared off against this person. That you're kind of coming at them from the side. And that whatever is coming out of their chakras maybe doesn't go directly towards you, but goes past you. They may shift because people like to line up with you. You may just have to gradually keep shifting a little bit. But always in the conversation, try and make that shift so that you're not just taking in whatever their chakras are putting out. That's number 2. The third level of practice, if you get both of those, if you have your hands up, if you've slightly shifted, start imagining a bubble of light around yourself. If you do, you're going to have more safety, more protection, more purity in your space, because you now believe that what you've got now is not all that's possible. If you practice regularly experiencing more than what you have right now, then you are building a successful feeling of faith inside of you. If you think this stuff's cool, stay tuned for more Trinity.